Good morning.
Morning.
Uh, Happy Goddess Chat Day.
Yes. It's always a good day when we have the opportunity to sit and chat.
It is, it is. I'm thinking I need to change my background to something different. I think it's time.
Right?
Not that I don't love this glorious sunrise.
All in divine
I've
order
had so many.
this time.
Yeah.
So we are here to talk about the goddess Pomona, and the theme is of joy. So would you like to begin with sharing a little bit about our goddess?
Let's see. Well, in Rome, our resource says there were any number of agricultural goddesses, and that they ruled the plants and the activities to nurture them. And Pomona's specialty was fruit, especially those born to trees, apples, plums, cherries, peaches. They all fell under her rulership. And I think you had posted in our Monday message that Pomona found joy in the fruit that she bore. And we can delve into her story a little more at another time, but suffice it to say that what we chose to glean from Pomona and her representation of nurturing and bringing joy was that we have the ability inside of us to bring that out.
Mm-hmm.
And we can do that through ritual, through practices that we have enjoyed in the past. And perhaps like this time of year, we are celebrating many events we had Thanksgiving, and for those of us who celebrate Christmas or Hanukkah or whatever the season brings, we have certain rituals, and this is a time we want to invoke joy and bring out that fruit and celebrate. And I think it's a good time to think about those ways that we can bear the fruit of joy in our lives and spread joy to others. Yeah. Well, joy to the world.
Yeah, right? So it's funny just thinking of like when you bite into, like, say, a peach, and maybe you don't like peaches, but this is the example I'm going to use. And you take this bite and it's so juicy and so yummy, and it just brings you like happiness, joy to eat that fruit. So for me, one of the things that I was kind of sitting in with this beautiful goddess message was the lovely taste of fruit, right? It's so sweet, and sweetness is a representation of joy, right? So it's like, how can you look at these themes and pull even more out of it? So to pull more out of it, this was the observation that I was having, is that when we plant a seed and we nurture it and we give it our energy and our intentional energy, and then we've done all of this work, and sometimes that work feels taxing and it feels uncomfortable and it feels like you're never getting anywhere, and then all of a sudden it manifests. And then the joy that you experience once it has manifested. And sometimes it takes a really, really long time to get there. So it's like, how can you be the witness of when it does blossom, when it does bear the fruits of your labor? And so that's kind of how I've been sitting with our messenger, Pomona, and she loved her orchard. She loved it. And so she would just come and be with these trees. And so when the fruits were produced, they were so sweet and they were so enjoyable for her. And even if she wasn't eating them, they were enjoyable for her to just like touch and hold. And she was excited to be with that which was manifested from that love, from that devotion, from that effort, from that continuous application of giving. So when we are going through something and we're, really working at it and really putting effort into creating something, these moments of joy that come through that process are really important to be witness to and to really experience.
I'm just thinking back to that planting a seed and it bearing fruit and nurturing it. When we first moved to Florida, I thought, oh, orange trees everywhere, orange, and a lot of those orchards have been flattened so they could build all these neighborhoods. But the house that we had bought had, the previous owner had planted I guess it was an orange tree. And I would watch it for year after maybe another year. I would see it grow. And after about 3 years, I thought, is this thing ever going to bear fruit? I'd mow around it and it was beautiful, but I thought, well, how long does this take? I want my oranges. But one morning I was out there and I saw some fruit. And I was so excited. I thought, oh, this is fabulous. She's finally bearing fruit. And I was telling my neighbor about it. I said, that tree is finally, and he said, yeah, I know, because I've been fertilizing it for you. All this time, I've just been sitting back and waiting for it to do its thing. But he said, yeah. He said, I thought it needed a little fertilizer. So I've been giving it a little.
Gosh, that's so great.
I thought, oh, okay, then that I might have had a little help in that regard.
Like our plumeria, it was in a pot and it wasn't really growing, and then my husband transplanted it outside because it had finally grown enough that it was like it needed more room. And so for about a year, it just kind of wasn't doing anything. And then last year he put fertilizer on it, and all of a sudden it has exploded. And it's like, oh yeah, you have to give it what it needs, right?
Yeah, and that
you have to give it what it needs.
Yeah, and time. Oh, how often we want to put time and effort into something, but we want it to happen right away. And then when that, like you were saying, in that Pomona took joy in that fruit that came, and that maybe she didn't, but it was there for others to enjoy. And there's more joy in giving it.
Yeah. And because she would come into an orchard and it would green up, right? Because of how much love she brought to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the question here then is, what are you doing to pursue your intentions, your dreams, your wants with joy? Because the more joy you bring to the process, the more ease there is in the process, the experience of the process, right? So joy is not just about the outcome. It's about how you're getting there.
Yeah, and finding joy in some of those, I'm just speaking for myself, activities that one has to do that might not be so pleasant or joyful, but how can I find joy in all of that? Like you say, when you infuse it with joy, it just stands to reason that is what's going to.
Agreed.
Yeah. And
So it is.
so it is.
We would love to hear what your experience is with joy and the process of creating and experiencing joy in the process and through the fruits of the labor.
Mhm.
We will be meeting for our final Goddess Circle of the Year this evening. So if you are interested in joining us, please check out our events. We're going to be talking about the full moon and all of the magic that she can share with us.
Yes, goddess.
Yeah, goddess. So we will return next week. Have a beautiful rest of your day.